guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you have seen my shorts video, I told you I'll be telling you when to use perimeter, where to find the perimeter and what is area. So many of the children gets confused where to find perimeter and where to find area. So now let me begin with it. So first you should know what is a perimeter. So what's a perimeter? It states that perimeter is the total length of boundary. So when I say perimeter, it basically means that you are finding the length of the boundary. So that is the perimeter. So now if I tell you area, area is basically the space covered. So this is my area, that is the space covered. Now suppose if I draw a rectangle like this and if I ask you, so the outside of this, that means suppose if I take this as 2 meter, if I take this as 2 meter, if I take this as 1 meter and this is 1 meter. So this, if I ask you what is the perimeter of this, so what you will say? Perimeter, as I said you, it is the length of the boundary or you can say the distance. So you have to, length of the boundary is this 1 meter plus 2 meter plus 1 meter plus 2 meter. So this is the length of the boundary. So perimeter is 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. So this is my perimeter. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 meter is my perimeter. And when I say you area, area basically means the inside of this or the space occupied. Suppose if you have a book, if you keep it on a table, how much space that book is taking, that will be called as my area. So now I hope you are clear with what is a perimeter and what is an area. So if in the questions they have given you find the perimeter, find the area, then it's simple. But if in the question they haven't mentioned you whether you have to find the perimeter or area, you have to figure it out on your own. So wherever they talk about find like he covered this much, he covered the like he traveled the square boundary. So traveled, find the distance or how much distance he covered. If something like this they ask, then it's obviously perimeter. And area when it comes, it's the space occupied. So now you should know how to find the perimeter. So see, let me take, so perimeter you can say that it is the sum of all the sides. That is nothing but the boundary. So when it comes to perimeter, you can say that it is the sum of all the sides. Suppose if I take any figure, if I take a figure like this, if I ask you what is the perimeter of this figure, then suppose this will be given to you 2 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. So why I am finding the sum of all the sides? Because perimeter is the length of the boundary. So that means this is my boundary, the outer region. So I will sum up everything. That is going to give me the perimeter. So that is basically sum of all the sides. So this is about the perimeter. Now suppose if I take, let's say if I take a square. How do I know how to find the perimeter of a square? Suppose if I have drawn a square like this. So now you know that this is a square and you also know that in a square all sides are equal. Yes, so it's basically all sides are equal in a square. So now suppose if I take this as 5 meter, if this I take 5 meter, if this also I take 5 meter and this also I take 5 meter. If I tell you to find what is the perimeter of this, then what you will say? It is basically 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So this is the perimeter. So now you will get the answer as 20 meter. Now don't you think that here we are repeatedly adding the same number, that is 5? Can I also write this as 4 times 5? Yes. So, or this I can write it as 4 multiplied by 5. So, that is giving me 20 meter. So, what is this 5 meter? This is basically the side of the square. So, can I also write the perimeter of a square as 4 times side? Because you just saw here I am doing 4 into 5 and 5 is nothing but the side. So the perimeter of a square is basically, so you must be wondering how it is 4 into side. So this is the reason why the perimeter of a square is 4 into side. So this is the perimeter of a square. Now let us take a rectangle. Let us find the perimeter of rectangle. So now suppose if I take a rectangle like this, and if I tell that this is my 6 meter, if I say this is my 6 meter, if I say this is my 4 meter, if I say this is my 4 meter. Now, you know that for a rectangle, this is called as length, and you know that this is called as breadth. And you know what you know about a rectangle? Yes, in a rectangle, the opposite sides are equal. So you can say that in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So this 6, this is also 6, this is 4, this is also 4. Now if they ask you, see, every time you can't keep on doing the, if I ask you what's the perimeter, you will say 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. Every time you can't keep on doing like this, right? So now, how to find the perimeter of a rectangle? So see, can you see here we are doing 6. We are adding 6 2 times. Can I write this as 2 times 6? And then can I write this as 2 times 4? Yes, I can do that also. So now 2 times 6 I can write it as 2 multiplied by 6. 2 times 4 I can write this as 2 multiplied by 4. So now can you tell me what is the 6 here? It's the length, correct. So I can write this as 2 times length plus 2 times, or 4 is nothing but the breadth. Yes. So now this is the perimeter of a rectangle, that is 2 times length plus 2 times breadth is the perimeter of a rectangle. Or in the other words, I can write this as C. Can you see here 2 is getting repeated? Can I take 2 as common? Yes. So I can take 2 as common and I can write this as length plus breadth. So I can say that the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus breadth. So this is the perimeter. So you know that there is a formula for perimeter, but have you ever wondered how the perimeter of a square is 4 into side and how the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus breadth? No. So here's how the formula came into picture. So this you have got to know what is the perimeter. Now let me tell you what is the area. So area, as I said you, it is basically the space occupied. So now when it comes to a square, what do you tell as area? See, how do you find area? Area is the space occupied. So space occupied is nothing but how much this side is taking, horizontal side, and how much this vertical side is taking, because here also again it's the same. Because you have to basically check how much this space and this space. So the area of this is, area of a square is side multiplied by side, because you should only know how much the horizontal and the vertical side is taking. So horizontal and vertical is side multiplied by side. And now when it comes to a rectangle, here also you have to just check how much the boundary is covering, because if you check the boundary, you will get the others also. So now the area of a rectangle is length multiplied by breadth. So this is the area of a square and a rectangle. And what did you find the perimeter of a square? Yes, that was 4 times side. And then what did you find the perimeter of a rectangle? Yes, it was 2 times L plus B. That means length plus breadth. So this is very important in order to do the sum. So as I told you, this is what is perimeter and area. So I hope you must be clear with what is perimeter and area. So if we are do the problems on this, then it will be more clear to us. So stay tuned for the next video. In the next video, I will be explaining some few problems on perimeter and area. So stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone and bye bye.